You're not broke because you don't make enough money. You're broke because of the decisions you make every single day. And that's actually the good news. Why? Because decisions can be changed. Your income, that's harder to shift quickly. But your habits, your mindset, and the way you spend your time and resources, those are entirely within your control right now. This video isn't about budgeting spreadsheets or cutting out your daily coffee. Those tactics work for some people, sure, but they miss the real problem. The real problem is much deeper. It's about your relationship with money, the way you think about the future, and the invisible scripts running in your head that keep you trapped in a cycle of earning and spending with nothing left over. Let's start with the most dangerous belief, that you need more money to fix this. You don't. Studies of lottery winners are fascinating because they show us something uncomfortable. Most people who win the lottery end up broke again within a few years. Some end up worse off than before. Why? Because the money wasn't the problem. Their money management was. Their beliefs about wealth were. Their impulse control was. And suddenly, with a larger number in their bank account, those same broken patterns just accelerated. The opposite is also true. People who start with very little but develop the right mindset can build real wealth. They do it slowly, methodically, and without massive income. So if lottery winners prove that more money doesn't solve the problem, and low-income people prove that less money doesn't prevent solutions, then the variable that actually matters is behavior. Let's talk about the first behavioral trap, spending based on current feelings instead of future needs. Right now you feel tired, so you order delivery instead of cooking. Right now you feel stressed, so you make an impulse purchase. Right now you feel inadequate, so you buy something that signals status. None of these decisions feel wrong in the moment because they're solving a real problem. The tiredness is real, the stress is real, the inadequacy is real, but the solution you're choosing is temporary, and the cost is permanent. That coffee that makes you feel capable this morning, it's gone by noon, but the money is gone forever. The impulse purchase that makes you feel better for an hour, the dopamine spike ends, but the financial damage remains. This is the hedonic treadmill, and it's designed by your brain to keep you broke. Your brain wants to feel good now. It doesn't care about future you. Future you is abstract. Future you is hypothetical. Present you is screaming for relief. So present you wins, and future you inherits the debt. The second trap is lifestyle inflation. This one is insidious because it doesn't feel like a trap. You feel like you deserve to upgrade your apartment. You buy a nicer car. You eat out more often. You join a gym with fancy amenities. None of these things are bad. But here's the problem. Your expenses rise to match your income. So the raise that should have made you wealthier actually makes you no wealthier at all. You're just more comfortable being broke. And now you're trapped because you can't go back to your old apartment without feeling like failure. You can't downgrade your car without social embarrassment. These lifestyle choices become identity, and your identity costs money every single month. The wealthy people you don't notice are the ones who don't do this. They get raises and they don't upgrade. They make more money and their expenses stay relatively the same. Their lifestyle is decoupled from their income. This is not sexy. This is not Instagram worthy, but this is how wealth actually compounds. The third trap is what I call future discounting. You live as if you'll always have this job, this health, this ability to earn. So you spend like today will repeat forever, but it won't. You'll get sick, you'll have an emergency, you'll lose your job, you'll face an unexpected expense. And because you've spent everything you earned, you'll have no buffer. You'll go into debt. You'll stay broke, even when you're making decent money because you're one emergency away from crisis at all times. This is the most stressful way to live. You're constantly anxious about money, even when you have it, because deep down, you know you're vulnerable. The wealthy person's mindset is the opposite. They know that someday they won't be able to earn at the same rate, so they build a buffer now. They create optionality. They save not because they're afraid, but because they're realistic. The fourth trap is social comparison. You see someone on social media with a certain lifestyle, and you make a decision based on their highlight reel. You don't know how they're actually financing it. You don't know if they're in debt. You don't know if they're miserable. But you know how it makes you feel, and you want that feeling, so you spend money to chase it. This is one of the most expensive behaviors in modern life, because social media has made comparison effortless and constant. You're not just comparing yourself to your immediate circle anymore. You're comparing yourself to a carefully curated global sample of the most enviable moments from thousands of people, and you're making financial decisions based on that comparison. The antidote is radical specificity about your own goals. Not goals that sound impressive, goals that are actually yours. What does your ideal life actually look like? Not the Instagram version, the real version. What would make you happy? What would make you feel secure? Often those two things are very different. Security comes from having options and having savings. Happiness, research suggests, comes from experiences with people you love and having enough time and freedom. Neither of those require spending a lot of money, but both require a very different relationship with money than the one you have now. The fifth trap is not understanding the true cost of things. You see a product that costs $50, so you think it costs $50. But if you put that $50 on a credit card and pay interest, it actually costs you $75. If you could have invested that $50 at 10% returns for 30 years, the true cost is actually much higher because of the opportunity cost. This is why building wealth isn't actually about earning more. It's about understanding true costs and making decisions based on that understanding. When you really understand that a $5 coffee habit costs you nearly $300 a year, and that $300 invested for 30 years becomes $6,000, your psychology shifts. It's not about deprivation anymore. It's about clarity. You're not saying no to coffee because you're poor. You're saying no to coffee because you understand what it's actually costing you. And that's an entirely different psychological position. The sixth trap is treating money as information. Most people don't. They ignore their bank statements. They avoid looking at their credit card statements. They don't track their spending. So they live in a fog. They don't actually know where their money is going. This is like trying to lose weight while refusing to step on a scale. You can't improve what you don't measure. The wealthy understand this. They track their money obsessively, not because they're neurotic, but because information is the foundation of all good decisions. You can't make a good decision about your financial future if you don't know your financial present. The solution to being broke isn't earning more money. The solution is becoming the kind of person who doesn't stay broke even with less money. Because once you become that person, more money will just accelerate your wealth building. But without that transformation, more money will just get spent faster. So what does that transformation actually look like? First, you have to make decisions based on your values instead of your feelings. What actually matters to you? Build your spending around that. Second, you need to decouple your lifestyle from your income. Live below your means.